Hey, what's going on today, guys? Man, today we're gonna talk about something that hasn't been out for 30 years. Yes, today we're gonna talk about, actually it's gonna be like a first take because it's not out yet. It's a 2022, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. So, I mean, and when they stopped making it in like 1991, the Wagoneer was actually a pretty nice looking vehicle back then. Um, it came out in like the late 60s or something like that. But over time, it got to look pretty good. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. All right, guys, stick with me. I'll be right back. All right, guys, let's jump right into this. Look, a first take review. Okay, now this wagon, I mean, man, this thing is pretty nice and it's pretty big. I love the size of it. It's really gonna give the Escalades, the Navigators, stuff like that. I think it's gonna give them a run for their monies, because this thing, it has almost five. Well, we're not gonna do no guessing. Well, probably a little bit of guessing because it's not out yet, so I don't really know. But I'm telling you, this thing has 471 horsepower. Yes, this is a big V8. This is a 6.4 liter. Man, this thing, it's gonna be really nice. Now the torque on this thing is pushing out 455 foot-pounds of torque. Yes, all of them. You got like the series 1, 2, then you got another 2, and then you got a series 3. But the base price on these is like $89,845. Now there's a couple different places that give you different base prices, but for most of what I've seen is 89,000 to start. But this thing can go all the way up to the series 3, which is going to run you anywhere between like $106,000, $107,000. So yeah, this thing can run into the 6 digits. But I think with what all you're getting, I think it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be well worth it. I like it. And at the end, I kind of compared a little bit with just the Jeep Grand Cherokee L, which, both of them have 3 rows of seating, but Wagoneer is just a little bit bigger. Okay, now let's go into some of the more things you're going to know if this is a vehicle you want to buy, like the fuel consumption. Because in the city, you get 13 miles to the gallon. Yeah. On the highway, you get around 18 miles to the gallon. Now combined, that's 15 miles to the gallon, if you commute, a city and highway. But man, 15 miles to the gallon, I don't know. You're probably, I mean, I would really have to like this vehicle to do that. But if my commute is all in the city, I can get 344.5 out of a whole tank of gas. 344 miles out of a whole tank of gas. Now, if I'm going highway, back and forth on the highway all the time, I can get 477 miles on the highway. Or if you're going to take a trip, this will probably be a really good vehicle to take a trip in. Because like I said, on the highway, a full tank of gas, you can get 477 miles to tank of gas. And it holds like 26.5 gallons of gas. So that's not too bad. I mean, yeah, it's just everything on the new Wagoneer, it's just a little bit bigger than a regular Jeep Grand Cherokee. Because on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, like let's go with the L. Well, we're going to go back to the Wagoneer. Okay, the Wagoneer. Now, the wheelbase on the Wagoneer is 123 inches. But the wheelbase on a Grand Cherokee L is 121.7 inches. So you're only looking at about an inch, within the wheelbase. Now, as far as the length, the Wagoneer length is 214.7 inches. But the Jeep Grand Cherokee L is 204.9 inches. So that's about 10 inches, as far as the length or whatever. So there's not a whole lot of difference. Now the width, Now, when I talk about width, I talk about within inside of the mirrors, with inside your side mirrors. The Wagoneer is 83.6 inches, and the Grand Cherokee L is 77.9, which is going to bring you about 5.5 inches or something like that. So I mean, it's a little bit more, but for the price, I don't know, because to it the space, and then we're talking about space, we're talking about length, we're talking about width, we're talking about all of that. But the Wagoneer base price is $89,000, and the Grand Cherokee L base price is like around $40,000 or something like that. So it's like half, or maybe even a little less than half. That's just if you're going for roominess, though. That's just if you're going for roominess, because now the V8, some people might want that V8. Me, probably not so much. I mean, because I think the L, the Grand Cherokee L, I think it'll push out like almost 300 horsepower. But anyway, the Wagoneer. Okay, now let's go with towing, and that'd be another thing, because the Jeep Grand Cherokee L only tows like 6,200 pounds. The Wagoneer tows 10,000 pounds. Well, it's like 9,800 and something, but yeah, it's almost 10,000 pounds. I think that's a pretty big deal. Maybe it'll be more for people, I don't know, tow a lot more or something like that. I don't know. It's gonna be a pretty big SUV though. But yeah. So that's just the first take on it. Just in case if you want to look into that ballpark of getting one. This is some things that you might want to know. I think you would want to know. But as far as base pricing, fuel consumption, what it'll tow, stuff like that. And that's basically why I do these videos, just to kind of give you an idea, and not really go too far out there, at least until it comes out. But all right, guys, I really appreciate y'all watching. Thanks for all you do. I mean, I really appreciate all the comments. I really appreciate all the support you give me and everything. So we're almost halfway there. So I think we're fixing to do some amazing things. All right, guys, appreciate it. Please, if you don't do nothing else, love yourself, and please love everyone else. All right.